Who the hell decided to make a show about an old middle-aged man's retirement? Because this shit is fire. Especially when you know that this walrus used to be called the legendary hitman. But now his wife is like, if you kill somebody, I'm divorcing you. You know what, fair. But that doesn't mean he's safe from the world of hitman. Because our homeboy Arthur pulls up. His name is Shin the Psychic, and he's a hitman who can read minds. He's been tasked with killing Sakamoto.
This guy's ridiculous. But he still has so much aura!
Shin is so enamored by this coagulation of blubber that even his car starts jumping for joy.
Do we have to kill him?
You useless bum.
Get off my dick.
But Unk has not lost his touch and deflects the bullet with a cough drop, throws the popsicle as a diversion, baits him with a box of chocolates, snipes him with the cough drops, flashes with the cream puffs, and KOs him with this nasty roundhouse kick. Nah, bro was using his food to play with his food. Then Shin wakes up to the Sakamoto family and realizes why Fatty quit, to protect his family.
You're saying if I shoot myself, you'll let Sakamoto live?
Yeah. This kid's stupid. I'm obviously gonna kill Sakamoto after he offs himself.
Shin hears this guy's thoughts. I wonder why this kid is called Shin the Psychic and not Shin the normal hitman.
Nice, this little prick!
So Shin hangs on for a bit since he's able to read people's minds and know what they plan to do. This guy thinks he's slick popping up from around the corner, but then Shin uses his legs to snap his neck. I've never seen this move used before. But then bro decides to run out of cover and gets shot in the leg. There was no reason for you to run around into the open like this. And Sakamoto pulls up, chases the three goons, and the boss man thinks his prey has fallen right into his lap. But bro does not know how cooked he is because Sakamoto is the one person who could bring chopsticks to a gunfight and still dominate. Sakamoto runs in, catches the bullet, grapple, kicks his ass. This guy really thought he could pull up in a lab coat. Front kick, catches the two bullets, slash step.
Where'd he go?
Above the guy and sends him flying towards his team. Weave duck sends this guy straight to heaven, but bro got more in store than the chopsticks and whips out the pens, deflects the shots from the SMGs, sends the pens straight through their bodies, and these guys are looking around like, where is this guy? But this man jumped 2 stories up, glides down with the hook. Sakamoto has them flabbergasted, and he swings into a spinning kick, wraps the hook around the second two, and sends them to the trash. Grabs this juice gun, gives the most disastrous hook, parries the guy from behind, counter.
Quit going in one at a time. We have to shoot all at once.
Then whips out the marker knives, dodges the bullets, cuts the gun, and pulls a damn waterfowl dance. Nah, this guy is ridiculous.
So, Sakamoto, thanks for the help, but I'm heading out of town.
800 yen an hour.
Damn, bro is not even working minimum wage. That ain't even $6 an hour. We know Sakamoto is using all that extra money on ramen and pork buns. Shin is just standing there thinking what his life has come to, but for all we know, he might actually be perfect for the job, using his powers to get customers the items they need. Fast forward a little, and Sakamoto and Shin are in Chinatown to buy some pork buns for the Sakamoto family, and then this girl with pink hair drops down from the 3rd floor of a building, crushing the pork buns. This girl's name is Lou, and some random dudes are attacking her, but she's not half bad herself and is able to deal with a couple of them. But then this guy just pulls the up you go, and then she straight up cannot do a thing. They do this move on newborns, bro. You cannot be caught lacking like this. This guy thinks he's cool for having a switchblade with that ear-to-ear grin, but too bad Sakamoto just snaps this thing in two with the tongue, knocks the wind out of this guy. Shin comes in with a street sign and whacks this guy's head, but Lou's gotta show off her Tai Chi, so she disarms, a punch right to that solar plexus, connects into a spinning back kick, and this guy's like, how the fuck is this little girl stronger than me? And gets the palm to the chest. Not bad, Lou. But that was just the appetizer, because while Lou, Shin, and Sakamoto are on the run, Chinese Vector sends these hitmen to get the key Lou's parents entrusted her with, since for whatever reason, he really wants to open these doors. Lock's not getting any looser. But seriously, how is one able to achieve this wealth and is not able to afford a decent cut? Apparently these hitmen like to cut off their victims' heads and draw them, and hey, I'm not pointing any fingers, but whoever drew these is less talented than me as a kindergartner. One of these guys catches Sakamoto off guard, but the way you can tell that these bitches are amateurs is that they don't even know the name Taro Sakamoto. Now, they thought they took him out and that their win was in the bag, but Sakamoto does a whole ass floor break, changing up the scenery. And this kitchen they broke into has all the weapons he needs to pack them up. Block with the cutting board, parry the barrage, but now they split it up to go for Shin. Backdash, duck into a spinning kick, he dodges it, thinks he's Zoro and goes for the 36-pound cannon. Another backdash, back with the Sakamoto, and he blocks the kunais, jumping the running slash and grabs the kunais.
Alright, if you're just gonna block everything, then it's time for our unblockable, undodgeable attack. Cast iron technique.
Hold on, what the hell is cast iron technique? You couldn't come up with a better name than cast iron technique? And worst thing is, in the face of Sakamoto, this cringy name got no power to back it up. After that fails, they go in for their ultimate duo attack.
Cast iron technique.
Now that his brother is out of commission, the black-haired one goes in for seconds, and Sakamoto breaks his chakra with a wok. But it's not over yet, because this guy remembers his mission ain't beating up Sakamoto or Shin. It's to get Lu's ki. But Shin hears their thoughts and flips bro over.
Damn, he got me. What the hell is that?
We cut to Bowl Cut Boy. You still doing that shit? Is it that serious? Now Shin and Lu are both working. Sakamoto is collecting these below minimum wage workers like Pokemon, but that's when Sakamoto starts talking more than he has ever spoken in the entire show. And then a second one shows up. Like either bro has a long lost twin, or these guys are just high as hell. Just kidding, it's just Crollo Lucifer, and I'm convinced the author just put this guy in here to fuck with Lu and Shin.
Who is this guy? Yo, so I work at the convenience store across from here.
But the most important part of what he's saying is that there's a bounty on Sakamoto's head for 1 billion yen. And then a pizza guy pulls up, and he's also a hitman. You cannot be so desperate for cash that your business plan is to act like a pizza delivery man and go around slicing people with your pizza cutters. But Nagamo ain't no pushover, so he makes quick work of Pizza Boy over here and just dips. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Nagamo is a hitman, and a pretty good one at that. It's time for Sakamoto's toughest mission yet, going to a theme park without getting killed, especially with that 1 billion yen bounty. And it's smooth sailing because of Shin's mind reading abilities until this guy shows up.
Oh shit, we let one get past us.
Yo, you are not that Joker. Get that goofy makeup off your face. And Shin pulls the craziest shit. Gets off the ride at the top of the loop, drops down onto the hitman at the bottom, and gets them both onto a place where they can scrap in peace. But the ride is coming back down, so the two gotta jump. Joker uses that to his advantage and throws 2 knives at Shin. But these ain't just any knives. They're poisoned, and now Shin is more or less on shrooms. Next ride that comes around, Shin jumps lower, grabs the collar, and Joker already thinks he's won the fight because Shin is high and he's just smiling. Sends a right, he blocks, poison darts, whips out the knife, stabs, Shin diverts it, and now bro is just grasping for straws. He looks into the minds of people around and sees Sakamoto's daughter asking to see a show, so he's got a master plan in store. Dive bombs into the tent where the show is, and somehow Shin has speed changed his clothes into the bunny outfit. But hey, I'm not complaining, shit is tough as hell. And even though bro is blind, he hits the nastiest left, and the crowd is going wild, thinking this is part of the performance. Our boy is cracked out of his mind. Weave, parry the knives, counter. Don't tell me this kid is hacking. Bro is shook. He does not know what to do. And that idea that he's hacking ain't actually far off, because the entire time, Sakamoto has been feeding Shin what moves to do through his mind.
Right, left, sidekick.
Joker is taking a beating, and that's when this guy cuts open the bunny suit and sees that Shin has had his eyes closed the entire time. Now, if this random kid was a stronger fighter than me with his eyes closed, at that point I would just unalive myself. Shin finishes the job and gives him a drop kick. After the quote-unquote show, Sakamoto's wondering who actually sent this guy.
Every second, I'm pouring out 1 drop of the antidote. Start talking if you want me to stop.
Nah, Lu is used to this shit, and bro spills the beans immediately. Yeah, it's some company called the, Don Denkai or something. Man, I gotta take a piss. Yo, why is this water so viscous? What the hell?
My bad, I just busted the fattest load in the sink.
This is Boiled, and the shoddy is Obiguro, who are also here to kill Sakamoto. Now, bro's got everyone on his ass. Boiled is an old friend of Sakamoto's, but this is exactly what they mean when I say, I ain't ever seen 2 attractive best friends. Because even though Boiled is a pretty good looking dude, Sakamoto's got all these freaky ass girls trying to bag him.
Sakamoto, I heard you like 44 magnums.
You cannot be saying this. And setting aside that ridiculous statement, these three girls are trained hitmen. Sakamoto pretty much has professional yanderes trying to get in his pants. Yeah, so Boiled pretty much has Riz trauma and puffs out the CGI smoke. I was gonna make a joke about the Berserk adaptation, but I don't even want to think about it. Anyways, everything is going well in the theme park until Sakamoto's wife and daughter start trolling because they want to go into this haunted house where the gang is 10,000% about to get slimed. Lou is just drunk for no reason and opens up this door to these paid-ass actors who let Boiled and Obiguro separate Sakamoto from everyone else.
Remember me? Nope. I'll make sure you remember me. Not that I care or anything.
And you might think I wrote that shit to be funny, but those were his exact words. What in the tsundere? Sakamoto tries to jump Boiled while he's looking in the other direction. Bro's got no respect for the game, but Boiled just starts cooking Sakamoto's ass. Sakamoto returns from this rubble looking like he did 5 years ago, and Boiled is chatting it up.
So what, you lost a couple pounds? Heads up, bro.
Sakamoto locks in, hits him with a side kick, and damn, look at that footwork, and a punch to the cheek. Boiled is pulling out all the stops using his hand rockets, but Sakamoto's bulk is over and straight up brute forces through Boiled's punch. Sakamoto hits the barrage, dashes in, Boiled throws the explosive balls, but Sakamoto snatches them and gives an explosive punch with his bare hands.
How the hell is this guy so strong? I choose to use my strength to protect the people I love. That's what makes me strong, Boiled.
And the goats Lou and Shin are included too. Sakamoto delivers the last blow, and somehow these two end up flying into a Ferris wheel cart, looking tough as hell. This is wallpaper worthy. Now, while all this happened, Lou and Obiguro were fighting, but then went,
Oh my god, you're strong. Oh my god, you too. Wanna be friends? Yeah.
and everyone chilled out. I swear to God, that's literally what happened. Shin is back, excited to see Sakamoto's new summer look, but then we see Sakamoto's wife. Nah, if your wife is looking at you like that, keep it a buck. She's taking the house, the kids, all your money, everything. But Sakamoto's wife is chill since she just now found out that there was a bounty on Sakamoto's head and whips out the Sakamoto rule book saying a rule is not to hide things from each other. Well, the goal now is for the gang to get the clients who put up the bounty to withdraw it, and yay, happy ending. But to do that, Sakamoto's first gonna have to go to his informant, an underground movie store. Then, we get a clip of a couple hitmen, including Nagamo, Sakamoto's friend from before, who are a part of a special task force under the Japanese Assassin Association, or JAA, called The Order. Blondie sees onions in his food and has the most unreasonable crash out.
Tell me why you put onions in the risotto!
And Gramps walks in like it was just another day in Pleasant Park. Apparently, some dude is butchering hitmen who are a part of the JAA, so the Order's job is to eliminate this hitman killer, who they're calling Slur, since they leave a huge X at all the murder scenes. So somehow on his journey to find Slur, Nagamo comes across the Dandenkai and somehow meets up with the Sakamoto gang. Nah, Nagamo is a D1 troller because the first thing he does when he sees Shin is stab him. Like, bro is taking all this hitman stuff a little too lightly. Anyways, the whole lead with the Dandenkai was a bust because all the people in their HQ just got erased from the planet before they got there. We're back at the shop and Sakamoto has hitmen just swarming in, the opposite of my view count. Yo, I'm looking for Taro Sakamoto. Sakamoto straight up lies to this guy, asking, who's that? Pretending he's just a part-time worker, and he believes it. Someone get this guy the dunce hat. But not only is he an idiot, he's also broke as hell. Bro is literally homeless with this tent his grandma gave him, and all this shit gets blown over. But how does the weather suddenly turn from literally no wind to hurricane levels of gust? This guy really just got sniped by God. But the good news is that there's a paintball tournament coming up for 1 million yen. And you already know Sakamoto and Shin are participating, and this homeless guy named Heisuke joins along for the ride because he's a loser without any friends. Anyways, the competition starts and Heisuke whips out the whole ass bolt action sniper rifle. Where did bro pull that from? Because I know they did not just give him that gun. In any case, Team Sakamoto is rocking everyone out the park. They for real just smurfing in iron lobbies. But at some point, drunk Lou starts goofing and tells Heisuke that the fat ass standing next to him is Sakamoto. So Heisuke's bird brings him to his real gun. How did this bird carry over a bolt action sniper rifle? Great question. Even though he's a broke ass loser with no friends, Heisuke has a crazy shot, and his whole deal is that he uses these special bullets that ricochet. Now, bro is not on that Brawl Stars right now. But after missing all his shots, Heisuke has a flashback to his whole reason for trying to kill Sakamoto. You're fired. And I do not know what this guy could be thinking, sniping from our roof in the most obvious position I have ever seen. But right when Shin and Sakamoto see this idiot, I'm about to cook your. And Sakamoto shreds this guy's gun to pieces with a rock. Heisuke's chill now, but it's crazy that Sakamoto is giving out jobs all willy-nilly, but does not hire the homeless dude who actually needs the money. But even though Heisuke's chill, Shin and Liu aren't. Liu straight up stole Shin's apron since she was doing dirty work that day, and Shin confronts her about it and then pulls out this line.
I can never relax around you because I don't know if you're reading my mind or not.
Like, damn, she did not have to say that. And Shin just dips. But the timing could not have been worse. Because while Liu is the only one in the shop, so, you want some candy? And Liu gets shoved in the trunk, tied up, gagged, no problem, no resistance whatsoever. Yeah, so these guys mistook Liu for Shin, since Liu was wearing Shin's apron at the time. But genuinely, how do you do this when you have a picture of Shin right in front of you? After Sakamoto got back from Take Your Parent to School Day, Shin tells him that Liu's gone missing. And Shin and Sakamoto pull up to help Liu. These guys on that Final Fantasy shit. Sakamoto grinds this dude against the wall. Then Sakamoto hits the guy, looping back, and giving him a wheel to the face. Nah, bro got hit with a belt sander technique, but somehow this kid turns invisible and takes care of everyone willy-nilly. Like, nah, they got Shin and Sakamoto crouched at the side of the highway looking like homeless bums. Invisibility is straight up just not fair. Shin knows who these guys were though, since he grew up in their lab, so they head over. This dude that was driving the truck earlier is like, damn, I guess I gotta pretend this pink-haired girl is Shin, since bro could not do his job correctly. So, boss, I know what it looks like. Bro got found out immediately, and now Liu and this goon are both getting carted away. Anyways, Shin and Sakamoto are here now, and this Albert Einstein looking dude is in the way.
Hey guys, it's me, Flying Gorilla, from my new app on the App Store, Flying Gorilla. It's a free download, so I hope you check it out, and I hope...
Meanwhile, these guys from the Order are also here, and the guys from the lab are trying to scrap, but the girl was a little quick to the chase, because she straight up goes,
You done with these guys?
and she didn't even let him respond before chopping their heads off. Now look what you did, you made the boss reindeer cry. Then bro takes off his mask, and you might be wondering what research has been taking place in this lab, especially after seeing Frankenstein on a previous floor. This guy takes off his stitches, rips his hand off to reveal 9 swords just sitting inside his arm. The Sakamoto Days author really just pulled that one out of his ass, because no way 9 swords are fitting in this man. This is the type of shit that we be seeing in Chainsaw Man, not a family show like Sakamoto Days. While that's all happening, Shin and Sakamoto are going deeper into the lab, but there's a random red button on the ground and they step on it. There is no chance they see this and think, oh look, it's a big red button on the floor, let's run over it. In any case, it's obviously a trap, and these guys are on that Looney Tunes shit. Sakamoto knows for sure he's too heavy to even try to get back up, so he saves Shin and falls onto the reindeer dude we saw before. Bro keeps talking about some master, who, based on this scene, is probably Slur, the hitman killer that the Order is looking for. Anyways, this devilish creature over here rips off another hand, and a gun appears in its place.
Even I'm getting grossed out by this guy.
Now, when the guy that brutally tore a chef apart because he got onions in his food said this, you know you're a certified freak. And then a gun spouts out from his throat, like you are not the gun devil. But let's take a look at what Shin is doing.
Don't want to be late for dinner.
And when I first watched this, I thought he was thinking to himself, but who in the world is this guy talking to? Like, being late for dinner should be the last thing on your mind. But that's when this invisible guy shows up. Shin throws a punch, 2 slashes, spinning sidekick, and bro is just getting pieced off. At this point, bro is about to get off screen. But that's when we see Heisuke's bird fly over, so Shin reads this stupid guy's mind and smears his blood all over the invisible guy. 2 bullets to the chest, and again, he is standing in the most conspicuous spot, directly across from Shin's battle. The invisible guy is on the run, and Heisuke is just firing away. Now, even though Sakamoto complimented his marksmanship, we have only seen Heisuke hit shots on stationary targets. But then Heisuke finally gets what he deserves for his horrible positioning. An invisible guy wraps his coat around a metal pole, turning it invisible, and throws it over to Heisuke, knocking him over. But remember those gunshots Heisuke hit this guy with? Well, he doesn't, because bro is walking and talking as if nothing happened. Heisuke takes another ricochet shot. Heisuke tried to hit the vitals challenge, level impossible. But invisible guy has enough and stabs him. But as a last-ditch effort, Heisuke shoots the water sprinkler system to activate it, and now the enemy can see as clear as day, and Shin knocks this guy out with a single kick. Back to Sakamoto. Yo, Sakamoto, can you take care of this guy?
I bet.
I did not know Mr. Onions was chill like that. By the way, I'm just gonna call this devil dude Reindeer from now on. The building is starting to explode as a defense mechanism against their research being leaked, and Reindeer says it'll take 20 minutes.
20 minutes? 5 should be enough.
And Reindeer goes in for the first strike.
I've modified myself to 70% weaponry.
Oh hell nah, bro, this clanker thinks he's Atom Smasher. But Sakamoto has weapons of his own, and Reindeer is not doing well to underestimate Sakamoto with these weapons. Bro was literally prepared for an attack, but then just goes into the default stance because he thinks he's safe. Reindeer fires Ki Blast, Sakamoto dodges, flicks pencil lead into one eye and throws a sticker on the other.
What have you done to me? I can't see!
Nah, is this dude special or something? He straight up held all the items for you to see 2 seconds ago. Sakamoto gives him a belt to the face. Unfortunately for them, both of the guys are now on some train tracks, and Sakamoto gets grappled while dodging. So he pulls a metal sheet out his ass and starts surfing on the tracks.
Want to see what I can do with this? Oh, giddy up, boy.
Now, we all know you should never let the opponent get control of a long weapon because you don't ever want to have them do this shit to you. Sakamoto whips the guy into the next subway line over and kicks him to all the Japanese commuters. Reindeer just takes this dude's water, and the only thing bro has to say is,
I guess he must be really thirsty.
yeah, I guess so. Unfortunately for Reindeer, Sakamoto's lost his weight and is just sitting around ready to piece his shit, giving a flying kick to the face. Sakamoto throws Reindeer to the cart connecting thing, you know what I mean. Lets the elder get her priority seating, and once Sakamoto walks up to Reindeer, this clanker gives the look of despair because he knows what's coming. But then Reindeer pulls out a final move, thinking that he's won by blowing Sakamoto in front of a different train. And Reindeer starts throwing whole ass people at Sakamoto. Bro is cleaning up this tin skin and doing charity work at the same time. Sakamoto lands a punch, connects into a kick, and now Reindeer is cooked. Anyways, we see Lou just running around. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when Lou and the goon got in prison, they met this dude. He used to be the director of this lab before it was taken over by hitmen, and was also the one responsible for giving Shin psychic powers. For whatever reason, bro had metal disintegrating liquid just sitting around and used it to free Lou and this dude with the most diabolical cut. Anyways, the building is actually collapsing now, and the ceiling is about to collapse on Lou, but Shin saves Lou all nonchalant. If I could give brownie points, Shin would have all of them. Shin and Lou apologize to each other, acting all tsundere-like, and then Shin and the director start awkwardly staring at each other. Like, I know you're having a moment, but you have 10 minutes to get out of there. Run! These guys do not understand the meaning of urgency. Nah, they're about to get buried 4 stories under. Like, go!
You have a map of this place?
Apparently 10 minutes is all the time in the world because he draws a map of the building on the floor.
What are we gonna do? We don't have enough time.
Yeah, because you guys have been meandering about doing nothing. But Shin is trying to save everyone. So he uses his abilities to hear where people are, and they split up into groups of 2. But then he runs into Gojo just sitting around, and Shin's trying to read his mind like, the fuck is this dude sitting here for? But he sees himself getting shredded to pieces. Cause of death, blending.
Hey Shin, give my regards to Sakamoto.
Safe to say that was X, since we have not seen anyone else kill Shin in his mind besides Sakamoto. So this guy has to be the real deal. Also, the dudes from the Order were eyeing him too. In any case, everyone made it out alive thanks to Shin's powers. The first half of the next episode is literally a bathhouse, but I do not know what they were doing here because the entire time it was just watching some dude play with the controls to fuck with Sakamoto. If you're gonna put filler, at least make it interesting. We're taken to some restaurant where Shin, Lou, and Sakamoto are chilling eating food, and then some random guys in formal attire pull up to the function. Someone obviously did not get the dress code. And then bro whips out the Glock and tries to kill Sakamoto while talking in his chopped ass Chinese. Sakamoto straight up lays this guy out and then hits the waiter button.
Need something else?
Melon soda. You're a bit old for a drink like that. From the look of you, I was expecting a more refined palate.
Do you not see this man? From the look of him, he'd be on a seafood diet. He's seafood and he eat it. Then Lou asks if she knows him, and bro locks in and sits up in 2 frames. This is Wutong, the consigliere of the Lou Mafia. Pretty much that means he's in charge of all the intelligence stuff. And since all of Lou's family is dead, he wants her to become the new leader. But he's not just a I can't say this word. Because after explaining why he's here and getting denied by Lou, he shotguns Lou with the biggest nosebleed I have ever seen. He unleashed nose jets on her. Like, this girl straight up denied this dude, and that shit turned him on. We cannot be letting these freaks in the Mafia. These are Jiraiya levels of pervertedness. But not only that, this guy is talking like Mafia are so much better than Hitmen, calling Shin and Sakamoto vulgar, barbaric assassins. Like, what did they ever do to you? Wutong also calls them meatheads, which really sounds like it'd be a slur for Hitmen. Bro is just hate speeching 2 store clerks. Wu-Tang makes a deal with Lu to a gambling game. If the Sakamoto gang wins, then Wu-Tang will provide info on the person who made the hit on Sakamoto, and if they lose, then they gotta hand over Lu. But straight up, this girl did not have to take the deal. Hell, Shin and Sakamoto were both against it, but she's too hot-headed to care. So the gang ditches the aprons and changes into these fire fits. Team Sakamoto is dripped out like the straw hats on Whole Cake Island. The game is that each team will start with 30 million yen, and in 2 hours, everyone will meet up to see who's made more money from gambling. Now, this will be super easy. I mean, Shin can just read other people's minds.
I don't know how to play any casino games or what any of the rules are.
Now, like, genuinely, how do you throw so hard? It's been like 2 minutes and Wu-Tang has gone and tripled his money. But Shin and Sakamoto are winning too, with the help of Shin's psychic powers and Sakamoto's brute strength. Then we see Wu-Tang playing blackjack, and Bro's servant is explaining counting cards like it's a superpower.
Master Wu-Tang's famous card counting.
There must be another way to show Wu-Tang's intelligence, like, come on. Anyways, if you're playing blackjack, that shit ain't going your way. Somehow in the end though, the 2 groups tied each other, probably because Wu-Tang got folded in blackjack off screen.
Yo, dude, why don't we just kill them?
Now the grunts are pulling out the real questions, but Wu-Tang is like, nah, I'm beating them with pure skill. So the 2 teams hop into a tiebreaker game where they exchange and discard cards, and at the end of the game, the person with the joker is the loser. Shin tries to read Wu-Tang's mind, but there's so much shit going on in his thoughts that Shin passes out. Now bro got hit with the infinite void. Sakamoto is trying to cheese this guy with his speed, but bro doesn't know what Sakamoto's doing, so all he has to say is,
Hurry up and draw, Porky.
nah, this grunt is called the legendary hitman Porky. Eventually, it's just Sakamoto and Wu-Tang left, and Sakamoto has the joker. Wu-Tang uses his psychology knowledge to figure out which card is which, but Sakamoto just doesn't let him take the card that's not the joker. And Wu-Tang is caught in this position. Like, bro, you gotta think before you pull this stance. But Sakamoto just swaps the cards. Like, nah, bro got hit with the oldest trick in the book. We used to do that shit in tug of war. So Team Sakamoto has won, but then Wu-Tang's goons just pull out the Glocks. They've had enough of Wu-Tang's games, and the resident freak is about to give up, since aside from intelligence, he's got no combat ability.
You're not gonna take this chance to impress the huzz?
He's not wrong. Y'all idiots thought I didn't know you were planning a rebellion? I planted a bomb in every single gun, and if you shoot, your arm just gonna fly off just like that.
Now that the enemies ain't gonna shoot, Sakamoto and the gang get to work. Nasty neck snap, face chop, heel kick. Then Sakamoto straight up throws these playing cards and cleaves all of these guys' clothes. Bro thinks he's Sukuna, but RIP the suits because I know those were expensive as hell. Disarm, neck snap, kick, jab, throw. But Lu is getting work done as well. Parries this dude, throws him into 2 others, gives another a kick to the face. And Sakamoto is fucking CCing these guys, batting up billiard balls with a pool cue to finish the job. Nah, bro just started spamming this attack and it worked. Since Wu-Tang just beat up a bunch of the mafia, he can't really go back. So guess what? He starts working at Sakamoto's. So it's time for Wu-Tang to spill the beans about the bounty. And all bro says is that Slur is the one responsible for the bounty, which was already a pretty big possibility. So Shin gives it to him straight, asking if he was gonna say anything they don't know.
Well, you're absolutely useless, huh?
What a waste of time.
Nah, even Sakamoto is giving Wu-Tang shit, and bro talks like once in a blue moon. But then Wu-Tang says he might actually have a lead. Apparently recently, 4 death row inmates at a maximum security prison were killed with their bodies and faces burned, which means that nobody could identify them. And at the crime scenes, there was a large X, signifying that Slur was the one responsible. But he also says that in Japan, there have been murders lining up with the methods of these death row inmates, which makes it seem like the burnt corpses were actually a diversion, and the death row inmates escaped with the help of Slur. Then we see the 4 inmates meeting up with Reindeer at a McDonald's. We got Shalon Dreadhead, Autistic Kid, Japanese Salaryman, and this girl. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to make fun of this girl for, but she straight up just looks like a worm. Reindeer gives them a list of people to kill, and they're like, thanks for breaking us out. And then Shalon Dreadhead just grabs the table, squishes it into a ball. For what purpose would you ever want to do that? In any case, the next goal is to find the serial killers and see if they can find a lead to X based on them. That was Sakamoto Days Season 1 Part 1. Like and sub if it was funny, thanks.